If JoAnn were standing at this podium today, many of you already know exactly how she'd start. She'd look out at all this, smile, that unmistakable smile, and she'd say, "Have you heard the one about?" And instantly, you'd start to smile because you knew what was coming. She was a master storyteller. She'd set you up just right, deliver the punchline perfectly, and then laugh as if she were hearing the joke for the very first time. And you couldn't help but laugh along. With JoAnn, your guard dropped. Your burdens eased, even if only for a moment. One joke led to another, and then another, until you found yourself swept into her world, a world of joy, warmth, and connection. And if you were at her home, or at her work at Iowa Hart, or Lewis Law Firm, or other places she'd been, the jokes were usually followed by food. Amazing food. She cooked nonstop and had some of the best recipes around. Some of you are lucky enough to have her cookbook, one of which is proudly kept in the Iowa Historical Society, by the way. The luckiest knew her as Mom, Nana, or Grandma. Some of you knew her as JoAnn, some of you knew her as your best or dearest friend. But hundreds, literally hundreds, knew her as Grandma Jo. She had 29 grandchildren by blood, but hundreds more by love. No matter how you knew her, what made her extraordinary was her ability to connect. She had a way of touching your soul. She made you feel, genuinely feel, like you were the most important person in the world. Each and every one. If I said to you, "All right, stand up if you were JoAnn's favorite," you would all stand up. She cared with her whole heart. She was kindness and sweetness personified. And she had an incredible memory. She remembered the details of your life, the small things that made you, you. She celebrated your joys and held you close in your difficult times. Birthdays, anniversaries, milestones, even the anniversaries of loved ones who had passed, she never forgot. She sent prayers, cards, angels, and blessings to anyone who was hurting. Through the work of JoAnn's hands, many of us felt a little closer to God. This past Sunday, our family gathered at her home for Christmas one more time, just as she had planned. Her absence was impossible to ignore. The life of the party just wasn't there to bring us together at that point. We gathered in her memory. Still, we carried on because that's what she would have wanted, and in sorting through some of her things that day, we found several cards already addressed, waiting to be mailed. So we mailed them. A few of you might even receive one this week. If you do, send a text. She'd get a kick out of that. Honestly, the number of prayer cards that she sent each week was almost enough to keep our small hometown post office in business. Thousands over the years, thousands. JoAnn was a non-stop communicator, a connector, a bright beam of joy. She was filled with the love of God. Her faith was stronger than anyone I have ever met. She believed God had a plan for each of us, and she shared that belief openly. A few months ago, as her illness progressed, she missed Mass. And she told me that was the first time in more than 50 years. She was truly a good and faithful servant. And at home, well, she could tell an off-color joke that would make a sailor blush. crack open a cold beer, and then, within the same breath, tell you all about the love of the Father. That was JoAnn. She connected with people through 3 love languages: jokes, food, and testimony. She sat with all of us, sinners, strugglers, imperfect people, welcoming us with laughter and a plate of something warm. And once she had your attention, your heart, she shared her faith. She lived the commandments: love God and love your neighbor. And I'll say it again, I've never known anyone who could make you feel so seen, so valued, and so loved, while being completely humble herself. She doesn't walk the earth with us anymore, but she left every one of us better than she found us. I hope the impact she made on each of you is something you'll carry forward. And as we leave here today, I hope each of us will try just a little, be a little bit more like JoAnn. And before you go, you know exactly what she'd say. Watch for deer. And if we could hear her voice right now, she'd leave us with this: I love you more. The end. I win.